Hi everyone, it's Elizabeth here. So I apologize if my voice is a little off. Wearing these masks and shields are killing me. I want to do this video in regards to if you're suffering from a lot of stress, um, understanding the circle of concern and the circle of influence will hopefully help you on your path and journey to stress management. So the business and the spiritual world a lot of times has a lot of the same concepts or thoughts that are just presented in various different ways. One from being obviously the more spiritual notion of spiritual growth, and the other one is more personal growth, stated from more of a logical perspective. So the circle of concern and the circle of influence are actually terms and concepts that were presented in Stephen Covey's book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And so the purpose or the application for the circle of concern or the circle of influence is a technique that is good for helping to separate higher and lower priorities and gaining ownership for the actions that you have. I believe social media has and is destroying us, and I also think that it is time for people to really start to understand how social media is destroying us. So, for example, running our bodies and our systems through fight or flight is not what the body wants. The body wants to be in harmony and homeostasis. So, when you're constantly hitting your nervous system with stress because your body doesn't understand what is the stress response or whether they don't know if it's a lion or if you're getting a horrible email from your boss, all your body knows is that it's going through stress. So when you're seeing the vast opinions that are being open on social media or the attacks that are happening verbally on social media and bullying and shaming, it adds a lot of stress in your life. And in some ways, it's really important to start to remove yourself from social media because as we've seen over the last few months, it is causing a lot of negativity, and people are getting caught up in that web of basically of negativity. When they think they're being enlightened or helpful, they're actually doing more harm than they are doing good because things aren't coming through a good, peaceful way. So, most spiritual theories talk about things on, purification of the body and understanding things that you can and cannot control. And so that's a lot of what the circle of concern and influence is about, learning and understanding the things that you can and cannot control. The Yoga Sutras of Patanjali's, the yamas and the niyamas, are concepts or terms to look at yourself, to purify yourself internally, and then things that you have to worry about with the external world. So it teaches you how to control your actions, your thoughts, and your behaviors. And it also encourages you to take control of the things that you can and cannot control. You can control your own thoughts and your actions. You can control your thoughts toward other people or your vengeance toward other people. A lot of that is about transmuting the negative thoughts or the things that you don't do and try to bring it into a more positive light or a perspective. So what is the circle of concern or the circle of influence? A circle of concern encompasses the wide range of concerns that we have. So these are the immediate things within probably our home environment, like health, government, our children, our work, kind of certain things like the amount of borrowing from government or the threat of war, because those type of things affect your immediate community or your state or your country. So certain things within your community are within that circle of concern. Now, a circle of influence encompasses those concerns that we can do something about. They are concerns that we have some control over. So the whole point of Stephen Covey's information is that the circle of concern versus the circle of influence works with the two thoughts of being reactive and proactive. So a lot of reactive people have a very large circle of concern and a small circle of control. So a lot of time is wasted on reacting to issues that they cannot control. Think about this. If you react consistently to people's opinions, or if you're a liberal or conservative and you don't agree with somebody from the other party, you guys are going to get into an ego war of debate online that really does nothing of productivity for your well-being, but also to get to any sort of conclusion on, you know, diplomatic debates. So react when you this is very fascinating, because if you start to look at how we have been socially engineered and programmed in this modern society, a lot of times we're becoming very reactive like adult children. When you start to look at Hollywood movies and how it's programmed us to be like adult children, you start to see that the interwebs of social media has allowed us to increase this circle of concern to be so large that it affects our egos. So basically, we're in an online ego war. How proactive people act is that they have a small circle of concern and a large circle of control. A lot of their time and energy is focused on issues that are within your control. So what does that mean? These are things like your attitudes and behaviors. You can control to some degree where you work. Obviously, if you're adding a lot of stress by commuting 60 miles each way, that's going to add a lot of stress to your life, because things that will be out of your control, like traffic or freeway accidents, those things are out of your control, that they're going to add more stress. But you can start to control your life by looking at a job that's closer to where you live. You might have to take a pay cut, but those are the things that can are within your control, basically. So what else is in your control? What you read, what you buy, leadership positions that you hold, skills that you start to learn, how you react and behave to other people. So Covey's simple assertion is that whichever part of the circle we spend time in, it will grow. So if we spend more time worrying about the things that we cannot control, like if Korea wanted to bomb us, it's good to be aware about it, but not sit there and worry and fear thinking, oh my God, Korea's going to bomb the West Coast. Those things, you have absolutely no control over that. So we want to spend time focusing on the things that we actually can do something about. So when we look at this circle, this image of these two circles, you're basically wanting to spend more time in the yolk. And so what you spend more time in eventually will grow. So if you can be evolving yourself with being a producer of some sort, for example, if you want to own your own business, you have to be proactive to putting the time and energy, and it takes a lot of energy to own a business. If you spend most of your time being wasteful and sitting in front of the TV and sitting in front of social media, you're not going to be productive in any sort of, additional hobby or passion project in your life, but you're basically going to be wasting time, and you will eventually be influenced to where your circle of concern is going to be about the crap on the TV, like worrying about celebrities' lives and what bachelorette is going to choose what bachelor. All of this stuff has no benefit toward the intelligence of our mind, but also the well-being of our body. So these, I'm so sorry about my voice. These are some thoughts that I have. If you have any thoughts about your circle of influence or concern, please feel free to share them. It is very important, because normal, regular, human, everyday stress management, of what you talk to a psychologist, they will start to tell you to start to put focus and energy on the things that you can control. None of us can control what the president's going to do or what our governor or anything is going to do. But, if you're not within that opinion, maybe you want to sign up for some, Democratic or Republican Party thing to help people, encourage them to vote this year, Those are the things that you can do. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and see you next time. Bye.